What's up, kings and queens? It's your boy Dan from Dark Previews, and today I'm going to give you an in-depth preview of all the player props that you need to know across this one-game slate. It's the Dallas Wings versus the New York Liberty. If it's your first time checking out the channel, I encourage you to subscribe. If anything, I'm begging you to subscribe because we're less than 50 subscribers away from hitting 9,000. It is the next milestone for this channel. So like, comment, subscribe, and help your boy get there. A quick recap on the last WNBA video. On the bets that I shared on the video, we went 2-2. Break even, given the odds of the bets that we did take. We did cash easy money on Natasha Cloud under her PRA. And we also had Courtney Williams. She cashed in her points line for us in the first half. We also took Jackie Young's under in her PRA, which was ass from the jump. Saden's waterfall was not running. And then we also took Asia Wilson for 25 and 10, but I obviously read the wrong script for the Aces. Young and Plum were great. Asia Wilson, she looked like ass out there. But seriously, the Minnesota Lynx was great at getting the ball out of her hands. Look, despite a bad read on Young and Wilson, we fucking cashed in. VIP cashed in 6.5 units profit with a 98% return on your investment. Not only did we hit on Natasha Cloud's under in her PRA, but we smoked her value play as well, taking her under in her points and under in her assists in a parlay. On top of Courtney Williams cashing her points line for us, we smoked the same game parlay on her, scoring over 10.5 points, 3+ rebounds, and 5+ assists. We also got saucy with it. We put both value plays together for a massive profit. Check that shit out. Now, we didn't stop there. We also cashed in on a high value same game parlay for Courtney Williams to score 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 6 assists. And on the last video, I told you guys that VIP is the place to be. I gave everybody access to VIP picks for free for 7 days. And the hope was you guys would tell the picks, make enough money, and then you can join VIP full time. Now, what's crazy is that in the last video, it got about 2,000 views. From the 2,000 people who were offered free VIP for a week, less than 50 people signed up for the free trial, which is just killing me. Trying to help you guys out, but you got to help yourself sometimes. But look, I'll be pushing out this free trial till the end of the month to give as many of you guys a taste of what it's all about. NFL and NBA is where we'll make the most money. So join me and build your bankroll on the WNBA, college football, and on the MLB. Use the code TASTE when you sign up for the 7-day free trial. The link is in the video description and in the pinned comment. Let's go. All right, moving my damn camera around, sitting you guys over here so I can see my big ass screen whilst I research this thing for you. So we're in outline now. And because there's only one game on this slate, instead of just sharing you with the picks, I'm going to go through all the key plays. We're kicking it old school. We'll go through all the players that are listed. We'll talk about what I like, what I don't, what I think I bet, what I won't. And I'll do all that to give you all the insights that you need to make the best bets possible. If you're interested in doing more than just tailing me, hopefully as I go through all of these picks, you can find some value in them and then bag your own winners that way. So we do it all in Outlier. And as you know, Outlier is my favorite tool. There's a 7-day free trial for Outlier. I've been partnered up with these guys for months and months and months now, and I've never been more profitable in my life. So I encourage you guys to check that out. All right, who we're looking at first. So it is the Dallas Wings versus Liberty. These guys just versed each other not too long ago. I think it was 2 days ago. Liberty absolutely slapped them. Thing to mention, there's a couple of important game time decisions in this game. Obviously, Sabrina Ionescu didn't play the last game because of a neck injury. She's questionable whether she plays, but also Prizepicks from the Liberty as well. I probably butchered that. But she's one of their forwards, especially 6'4". She's got range, length, defends inside and outside. A pretty key defensive player for the Liberty. She's questionable as well after injuring her ribs. So I don't have any bets down on the Liberty just yet, and that's because I'm waiting for these teams to be finalized. I have got a bet on the Dallas Wings players already, and I've already sent that out to VIP. So if you're not in there, get the hell in there right now. It's a 7-day free trial. Use the code TASTE. So we'll go through all these players. We'll go through the players on the road first, and then we'll get to the girls in the Liberty. Who better to start with than Arike Ogunbowale? All right, where's her points prop out? So forgive me if I'm a little bit rusty. It's been a while since I've done a preview just like this, but bear with me and we'll make this shit happen. Arike, her points prop, it's at 18.5. It is quite low considering how well she's performed this season. This line of 18.5, she's cashed in 77% of her games this year, 20 out of the last 26 games. But what we have noticed is as of late, you can see it a bit closer in this graph here, she really started to slow down. And that's partly a few reasons. She's had some tough matchups, but she's also got some reinforcements. Sabali, Jaylen Brown, even Maddie Siegrist is back. Howard stepped up in her volume. Arike not doing as much on offense. So if we look down here, she's playing this similar amount of minutes. If we look at her last 5 games for a good sample size, over her last 5 games, 15 shots per game, compared to her season average where she was taking close to 20. So just on sheer volume alone, she's not shooting the ball as much. She's still shooting the ball like shit, 33% from the field, but the volume's not there either. Still bombing from deep and hitting them quite well to the free throw line. So the 18.5, it's not a steal if you look at her yearly rate. You know, cash is easy. Well, she could. But now that the Wings are at full strength, she's not taking as many shots as she normally would. So last 2 games, Satu Sabali's back. She's been killing it, and no surprise, Rike's volume is down over the last 2. So the question is, at 18.5, do we take the over or the under? Shit. Right now, I say wait. There's not a big enough sample size. We are 2 in the lineup to see how Arike is going to play. She's the type of player, if she starts making shots, she can also take a lot more. This particular game, I'd probably just sit on it. I wouldn't bet on Arike's points prop right now. Her assist line, we're looking at 4.5. 4 out of her last 10. We've got an outlier stat here that Arike's failed to hit her assist line in 7 out of her last 9 games on the road. She did, however, just get 5 assists against the Liberty in the last game. And look, if Phoebe, bitch, I don't know how to say it. If that player is out for the Liberty, she's a pretty key defender. One of their wing defenders, which is out, that does weaken the Liberty to a certain extent. So the assists may flow for Arike. It also bodes for a good sight, I'd say, for Satu Sabali. That's where I'd be leaning. So with the assist prop, I wouldn't be down for betting the under. But given how she's played as of late, I don't have much confidence betting the over either. Jumping into a rebounds prop of 4.5, she's hitting 7 out of her last 10. She's exceeded this in 6 out of her last 7 games on the road, including 6 rebounds in that last game against the Liberty. So the Liberty, Sabrina might be back, which improves their offense. They still scored 94 points, though. So she got 6 rebounds, despite the Liberty running up the score. If we look at the matchup, though, the Liberty, they do have the most rebounds to guards this season, which is pretty crazy. And Arike is going to get close to 40 minutes. Well, maybe 30. She got 38 minutes in the last game. She'll probably get close to 38 minutes again. So rebounds might fall her way. I think this over 4.5 actually isn't too bad. I was going to add that here so I can come back to it a little bit later. Arike over 4.5 rebounds. I don't think that's such a bad look. I have to investigate a little bit further, but the recent form is good. Her head-to-head form is pretty good. 3 out of the last 4. Know that she's going to have minutes. I don't hate it. Arike, if I'm going to bet her, the only one would be her rebounds prop. The next player we're going to jump into, let's get into Natasha Howard. We'll smash these wings out one by one. Let me know in the comment section. Best flavor of wings. Chicken wing connoisseur. So please enlighten me. What is the best flavor of chicken wings? And tell me where I can get them from. Let me know in the comment section. All right, Natasha Howard. Her points line. 14.5 is their line. She scored 13 points in that last matchup against them. The Liberty, mid-tier in terms of out to forwards. Out of all the guards, forwards, and centers, the forwards is where they're probably the weakest spot, especially if this Phoebe chick is out. Natasha Howard might have a bit of an advantage here. She'll most likely be lining up against Stewie, so we shall see. She's cashed this in 5 out of her last 10. She's gone under in 4 straight games against the Liberty. So that makes it a little bit tough. I did look at this a little bit earlier, and I saw the number of shots she was taking. She shot 6 from 18 in that last game against the Liberty, and I was like, oh, easy over in this next game for Natasha Howard. There's so much upside and potential. But then I looked back, and I was like, the last few games, she's been chucking it up like crazy. She's taken a whole lot of shots, and her percentages are not getting better. So if I had to bet it, I'd probably lean to the over. But now that I know that that volume's not a once-off, she does shoot that much quite often. The problem is she normally shoots quite poorly. You probably have to look into the matchup and the play type. Natasha Howard, if you weren't familiar, she scores most of her points as a pick and roller and getting to the free throw line and down low in the post. The mid-tier when it comes to defending those spots, but they don't foul too much, which is a good thing about them. So Natasha Howard, I don't think that's a bad bet. If you're making a bitch-ass parlay, Natasha Howard for 10 points is an absolute wagon. She's hit it in 10 straight games. Why the hell not? Jumping into a rebounds prop at 7.5. The matchup, mid-tier, the Liberty, 5th in terms of rebounds allowed to forwards. She did get 9 rebounds in their last game. She's hit this in 4 out of her last 10. To her last 4 games against the Liberty, she's hit the over. 7.5 at plus money. Could be tempted. Honestly, I don't mind it. Natasha Howard, I think it's a good look. To the next one, going to Tierra McCowan. Now, Tierra McCowan is one of my favorite players to bet on, provided she's playing on the road. And where are they playing today? New York, I believe. I think so. They're on the road, yes. Dallas at the Liberty. So, Tierra McCowan, her points props at 9. You can get it at 9.5. You can even get it at 10.5. I've had a look. Now, she's cashed this in 6 out of her last 10. Let me change this to 9.5. Plus money play if you like the over. 6 out of her last 10. The Liberty allow the fewest points to centers in the league. Tierra McCowan up against the Liberty. Only scored 2 points in that last game, but last season, 15 and 11 points. If we look at the top player that Tierra McCowan is, scores a lot of her points in the post and via putback. This Liberty team don't allow many points by putback. And in the post, she's not going to get it on Jonquel Jones. So I like the under for this for Tierra McCowan. Despite what she's been averaging in her hit rates, I like her under. One thing that also supports the under heavily is this. And this is why I love betting on Tierra McCowan. On the road, take her unders an absolute wagon. She's hit the under 9.5 points in 82% of her games on the road this season. I started betting this nice and early in the season, and it's hit more often than not. She only scored 2 points on the road last time against the Liberty. I think it happens again. I think 9.5. If you can get it 10.5, even better, because I know I did. 10.5 points for Tierra McCowan. Take the under. And when we look at her rebounds, her line's at 6.5 as well. The Liberty allow the fewest rebounds to centers in the league. She's only hit the over in 3 out of her last 10 games. And believe it or not, on the road, she's hit the under in 8 out of her last 9. So yes, take the under for rebounds for Tierra McCowan as well, in my opinion. And I may have taken both already. Shit, you know I have. Same game, McCowan, under points and under rebounds. We're going to ride it till the wheels come off. It's pretty much, you saw it. She hit the under in her points almost every single game, hit the under in her rebounds every single game. This is the bitch or beast parlay at its best, at its finest. And we're looking for Tierra McCowan to bitch it today. The next player that we're looking at here is Satu Sabali. Now, she's only played 2 games, so we've got a small sample size to look at. So you'll see a lot of numbers on the graph. I wouldn't pay too much attention on them because they're from last season. But her points line, 19.5. It's also at 18.5, depending on where you look. 18.5 is still plus money. She's hit this in both games since she's returned from injury. 20 against the Connecticut Sun, then 24 in that last game against the Liberty. I do like the over, but it just makes too much sense for me. Have a look at her minutes. 36 minutes in both games, 17 and 14 shots. She's been burying it from 3. So I know you can get her over 2.5 3-pointers made. Where's 2.5? 2.5 is pretty good. It's like plus 150 or something. So 3-pointers made, I do like for Satu. Her points, I do like it as well. Again, I like it even if this Phoebich chick is not playing. She's a great defender. And without her, I think so can really take advantage of the matchup. So I do like her points. I haven't bet it yet, but I do like it. It's the way that I'm leaning. And if we look at her rebounds, 7.5 for Satu. She's only covered this in 1 of the 2 games. She had 8 boards against the Connecticut Sun, then only 5 rebounds against the Liberty. The line set at 7.5 feels very high to me. The under is the favorite. The books heavily leaning towards the under, and I guess I would be too. She's hit the under in the last 3 games against the Liberty. So, yeah, Satu over her points, under her rebounds is definitely one way that I'm thinking. Her assist line's at 4.5, 7 in the first game, then 4 most recently against the Liberty. In that game, the Wings only scored 74 points. It would have been tough for her to get her assists out. But, yeah, on such a small size, I couldn't tell you. But I do know I like the over in points, and I like the under in rebounds for Satu. Do I play them both? I'm not too sure. If you sign up to VIP, you'll know when I know, because I actually send the screenshot of that bet before I even place it myself. So just to make sure nothing gets missed. Now, jumping into this New York Liberty team. So this chick, Phoebich, Jesus, I don't know how to say it. Luckily, she doesn't have lines, so I don't have to say it anymore. Sabrina, questionable to play. She doesn't have any lines up. So we're really going to go through Jonquel Jones and Brianna Stewart. Vandersloot, her lines aren't available. Whether Sabrina or not makes a massive difference. Plays or not makes a massive difference to Courtney Vandersloot. So we're going to have to look at Jonquel Jones. Now, this is a little bit tough. I had a look at this a bit earlier. Jonquel Jones, she's a real bitch or beast. The problem is it's hard to predict what she's going to be. You can see it here. Her line for points is at 14.5, up against the worst defense in the league. They allow the third most points to centers and the most points overall. She's covered this line in 3 out of her last 10 games, averaging 12.2 points per game. If we look at the head-to-head matchups, 23 points in that last game against Dallas, but prior to that, she was shocking. She wasn't doing nothing. The outlier stat here is that she's failed to hit this in 4 out of her last 5. Obviously, she's struggled. So it's a real difficult one. Jonquel Jones pretty much can score inside and outside, which is pretty crazy. He scores a lot on the spot up as a spot up shooter, pick and roll man. Even gets out in transition for a big girl. She's pretty good, very impressive. I thought she was awesome in that last game. But I also think she was that good. That's going to force a lot of people to bet her overs. A part of me says that this 14.5 points is probably a little bit too high. 23 points is not a normal game for her. She averages 14.7 on the season. So there's going to be swings. There's going to be ups and downs. Again, I'll probably wait for Sabrina. If Sabrina's not there, then yeah, maybe it makes sense to play the over. But Sabrina hasn't missed much time. So it's hard to get a huge sample size. Only the one game without Sabrina this season. Last season, 4 games without Sabrina. Jonquel Jones went under in all 4 of these games. So it's a pretty tough one, and whether she's going to beast it or not is what I'm saying. So I'm a little bit hesitant on that. Rebound-wise, her line's at 9.5. She did pull down 12 rebounds in that last game against Dallas. Dallas meant to be a pretty good rebounding team. They're not meant to allow too much at all. But when you're missing a whole lot of shots, naturally rebounds are going to come. 6 out of her last 10, only 1 out of her last 4 games against the Dallas Wings. And once again, it's like not enough sample size against this to just use that one game as a reference point. She should rebound well. I'd lean to the over, but it all comes down to how do you think the game goes. I think the spread's like 15 points, 16 points. I've read a few articles. A lot of people are predicting the Liberty to absolutely smoke Dallas because Dallas doesn't play defense, but the Liberty could be weakened here. If Sabrina and Prizepicks are not playing, then it does bring things a little bit in. So who the hell knows? So for Jonquel Jones, I do like her over in points and rebounds. It makes a lot of sense. But again, you've got to wait till Sabrina's status is confirmed before you bet on these Liberty players, in my opinion. Based on the lines that I'm seeing, it looks like she is playing. Jonquel Jones at 14.5. After that last outing, I would have put it up a lot higher. So the sportsbook's probably thinking that Sabrina plays. We can also see it with Brianna Stewart's lines. Points line, we bet the over last time was 20.5. So naturally, it's moved up. It's now 23.5 after scoring 26 points. She didn't play much of the fourth quarter either. Easily could have gone for 30. But yeah, 23.5, probably an accurate line. I'm not sure if that's a good line with or without Sabrina. But let's take a look at her points line. She's hit this in 3 out of 10 games, only in 9 out of 27 games this season. Outlier stat is telling us that she's failed to hit this in 14 out of her last 18 games at home. The Dallas Wings, they allow the most points to forwards this season, so that all lends in nicely to Brianna Stewart. But if we think about the play type and how Brianna Stewart gets to work, we can see, flip this over, Brianna Stewart gets to the free throw line like crazy. This Dallas team, they foul a whole lot. Brianna Stewart runs in transition. This Dallas Wings team, the worst team at defending the transition. Now, Brianna Stewart has beaten up on the Dallas Wings in the past, 32, 25, 40, and 26 points in her last 4 games against them. The matchup makes sense. I'm questioning, do I just run back the same plays I did in the last game and just take Tierra McCowan unders and take Brianna Stewart overs? I'm thinking about it, I got to tell you. So my thought process now is at 23.5, if Sabrina is out, does this line go up or does it stay where it is? Or if Sabrina is in, does this line come down? So that's what I'm a little bit hesitant on. I'm leaning to the over here for Brianna Stewart, of course. And if Dallas can keep this game a bit closer, then Brianna Stewart gets more minutes and more opportunities. Jumping into a rebound prop, it's at 8.5. She had a rebounding fiesta against Dallas in that last game, 12 boards. She had 10 the game prior, 6 and 9. So 3 out of her last 4 against Dallas, she's cashed in. Only hitting in 5 out of her last 10, but she's exceeded 8.5 rebounds in 4 out of her last 5 games at home. So loving it at home, and she rebounds well. In terms of the matchup, the Wings, 3rd fewest rebounds allowed, but that didn't stop Brianna Stewart in that last game getting 12 boards. So this is another one where I'd probably lean to the over. It's just sometimes I don't want to just keep running back the same plays. The research will be very similar. The matchup is the same. What the teams allow, it's very much the same. And I was pretty much spot on in that last game when these two played. we could just run it back. Well, what's dangerous is though they only played 2 games ago, maybe adjustments will be made. I don't think those adjustments would impact Brianna Stewart's rebounds, though. So her rebounds, I've talked myself into it. Points-wise, even though I like the over, my question is, does Dallas do something differently to slow down Brianna Stewart? That's where I'm thinking, and that's probably why I won't bet her points prop again. If we look at her assist real quick, it's 3.5. She's only hit this in 3 out of her last 10. The Wings do allow the most assists to her position and as a team overall, but Brianna Stewart, who's hit the under in her assist line 4 out of the last 5 games. Now, if you're talking about assist props, if Sabrina's playing, you probably want to look at Sabrina's assists, or if she's not playing, you definitely want to look at Courtney Vandersloot's assists. So that we shall see. Outside of Brianna Stewart, I don't think there's anybody else that we can preview right now, but I do ask for your help. Let me know in the comment section what bets you have on this game. So obviously I've shared what I'm on. I'm on Tierra McCowan at the moment. I'll probably be on Arike rebounds and Brianna Stewart rebounds by the end of tonight. But let me know what you're on. Jump into VIP, 7-day free trial. Just use the code TASTE when you sign up. Let's win you enough money to jump onto VIP full time. Other than that, I'll catch you lads in the next one. Peace.